Welcome. So we are talking about why are I earners, why are they broke, right? That's what we're talking about, and what should they do differently. I earners being broke. That is a very sensitive topic because the I earners don't want you to let you know that they are broke, right? And what does broke means? If your income the same thing equals your lifestyle, then it means what? You are broke. Because if that job is not there tomorrow, if that income is not there tomorrow, what happens? What happens, right? So that's what we want to talk about. Very sensitive topic we are talking about today. Why are AI income earners? Why are they broke? Okay, that's what we're talking about. How are you doing? Let me know where you're connecting from. So part of the thing is you probably would have heard this. Yeah, maybe you have a friend, or it could be you, it could be family, and you're saying that, and they're always saying, okay, you know what, I'm making decent money. You know, they are making decent money, but there's just one thing. You just realize that, oh, you know what, they still broke. They're just, getting that paycheck and they use it to pay bills. Trust me, there are so many six-figure income earners that fall in this category, right? You make good money, but you're still not building wealth. Okay, here is why. Here is why. Number one, we'll have, you have salary versus assets, you have lifestyle inflation, you have the wealth order, most professional miss, right? The word system, and then the last thing is that the system wealthy people follow, right? Because if you understand the system that the wealthy people follow, you realize that you would achieve the same result. You become wealthy. You cannot do the same thing and expect a different result. So that's what we're talking about today. Why are they still broke, right? Why are they still broke? And how, if you fall in that category, you have friends and family that falls in that category, then you want to get them closer here so that we can talk about it, address it, okay, from salary perspective, from lifestyle perspective, from having it in the right order perspective, and of course ensuring that they have the system, understanding what others have done that have worked for them and how they can just shamelessly reapply. Okay, I always say there is no reason why you cannot shamelessly reapply. The one company that I lost so much that I worked with years ago, it's part of our processes. Reapply and win. That's part of the core values that we have within the organization. And that company has been in here for over 100 years and they're still doing it. So today, welcome. And we're talking about why are high income earners? Why are they not making, why are they still broke? Or why should they be broke? You'd have heard that before. Me, Michael, welcome. Why are they broke? Okay, it might be friends, it might be family, right? You would have heard it. Okay, I'm making so much money, I'm working so hard, right? But guess what? It still feels that money still feels tight. It should not. I'm making decent income. It shouldn't feel tight, but I still feel that way. Let's address it today. We are going to address it because if you change all those things, chances are that you're going to start winning with money. Things will change. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't followed, consider doing that right now because it's about to actually go down, right? Because we're going to talk about salary. We're going to one day is 21 people watching. Yes, awesome. Yes. So I have 15 people now. Let us all go subscribe. Yes. Let us all go subscribe. Obviously, there's so many people that struggle with this whole high income thing, right? All high income thing. So it happens. Trust me, it is not anybody's fault. That's the way we were taught. That's what we were taught. That's what the system taught us. System taught us go to school, right? Get a good job, okay? And of course, life is going to get good. But how is it going? You get that good job, but you still feel that, okay, money still feels like a challenge. You're still trying to get financially free, but you cannot. It's like as the paycheck is coming, it's also going out. It's like the same thing. You're just working to get the paycheck. Hi, Rufi, and every other person that is here. So why are high income earners? Why do they still feel broke? Why does it happen, right? Let us talk about it. Making good money. I'm new here, so what do you do on this channel? Yes, so that's what I'm talking about. We talk about finance, we talk about building wealth, we talk about how you can change all of that. That's what we talk about. How you can end the paycheck to paycheck cycle, and of course build wealth. That's what this is all about. So if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing because you are going to build some wealth here. That's it. That's the goal. We are so serious minded about learning how to build wealth and what are lifestyle changes that we need to make and skills that we can get and how we can actually build wealth. That's what we're talking about. So subscribe, follow, share, like all the way. We have two communities. We have YouTube on one side and we have TikTok on one side. So in case you're saying that I'm saying something and it's not your screen, that's because I'm talking to the other community. Awesome. So the discussion points that we're going to be having today, if you're meeting me for the first time, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology and I help professionals hand the paycheck to paycheck cycle, helping them to build wealth the right way. I'm a serial investor myself, being in corporate America for almost 2 decades. Okay, I'm a chartered accountant and I'm also a technology expert and business expert because I have my doctorate in business. But enough of me, let's talk about you, okay? You would have probably heard from friends, or it could be you that, okay, I'm making decent money, but I don't know. I am just working. I'm just working to pay bills. By the way, if that's what you're doing, that's not life. It just means that you are working to pay bills. You are living to work. That's basically what you're doing. So today, let's talk about it. First is salary versus asset. Understand that number one reason why you're having that issue is because salary helps you to pay bills. What helps you to build wealth is what the asset. Asset is anything that is appreciating cash flowing asset. That's what helps you to build wealth. So if you might be getting 500,000 salary a year, or 300,000, or 100,000, or 50,000. If you take everything and you put it towards, your lifestyle, your rent, or your housing, buy a nice purse, use it towards a car, and you realize that that's all that you do. All you do is that you use that money for that. Next month you work again. All right, you use it again. That's it. That's what it's called, paycheck to paycheck, hamster wheel, rat race, and all of that. Now, but how can you change? How do you change all of this? What you can do to change this is, take some of this money and put it in cash flowing asset, right? Appreciating cash flowing asset. Understanding that this is falling off. Understanding that your salary, this is your salary here. If you take all your salary and you put it towards the lifestyle, liability, depreciating liability, lifestyle. If you put it, you just keep doing it that way, right? And you realize that somebody that just earned 50,000, right, or earned 100,000, keeps 30,000 and invests 30,000, you realize that that person is even more wealthy than you, right? Versus you that is earning 300,000, 400,000, or 200,000, you realize that the person is going to be doing better than you because the person is putting some aside and putting it in appreciating asset. Understanding that asset is the only way, right? When I mean asset, it means businesses, it means maybe like a rental, it means any form of business, anything that is going to generate additional income for you. You put your money in, it's going to give you money, something of that nature. Liability is something that takes money from you. Think about like a car. It depreciates in value, and then of course you still have to go to dealership to service it, and you're going to be paying, and if it gets damaged, it's taken from you, right? So understanding that. So basically, salary versus assets, that's number one. That's one of the reasons, right, that a lot of times the high income earners focus on, the salary. They do not have the mindset of asset, okay? But asset is what helps you to build wealth, not salary. The second thing is lifestyle inflation, which is very linked to the salary in itself. A lot of times when you get that paycheck, what do? We pay for the utility, we pay for the rent as it should be. You pay for the car, and with everything happening right now, everything has even gone off the roof, right? You pay for all of that, but then on top of that, you change. Maybe you now get a salary increase, or you change your job, and then you realize, oh, you know what? Now I need to change my car. Lifestyle creeps come up into it. You realize that, all of a sudden you realize that, what? Even though I'm single, and it's just me, but I need to stay on the rooftop. I need to live in a 3-bedroom, even though it's just you. Lifestyle creep, just because you know that, okay, your income has gone up. Now, that's lifestyle inflation, or you are buying things that you do not necessarily need. Some people, they have, I'm going through an emotional breakdown, something is going on with me, and I just want to spend. That's some people, right? So lifestyle inflation is the other thing. No matter how much you're earning, if your income is here and your expenses is here, what you realize is that you just do keep doing the paycheck to paycheck. And I always say, especially when it comes to six-figure salary, once you get to that six-figure salary, it's almost like you have arrived, but it comes with a lot of pain, because that's when you see that, you know what, you have arrived but you are not yet there, right? It's a very dangerous zone, because you'll be like, okay, you know what, I have started the American dream, but the expenses associated with the American dream does not equate to that salary, because that salary cannot actually cannot cover for that American dream. So if you are not careful, you end up, even in more debt versus somebody that is not even in a six-figure salary range. So that's one of the reasons why high income earners, that's why you see that some people that earns, maybe like they earn 80,000 all their life, they retire as a millionaire, because they are living within their budget. They already say, okay, I think I'm in a low income bracket, and because of that, I would save. I'll put some aside, I'll put it in ETF. I'm not going to do something that is risky because I don't even have much. And because of that, they are able to save more for themselves, right? At old age, right? But the people with high income, they were like, oh, you know what? Yes, I am. I'm an African American, right? I'm African American, of course. Yeah. All right. So you already know. So you realize that if you put some away, understanding that salary, if your job, all you just do is use your job to fund your lifestyle every single year, you realize that you need to keep working to fund that lifestyle. You work till 65, right? But if you put some of it aside towards appreciating assets, you realize that you are able to step off the hamster wheel. Double twins mom, welcome, and every other person that is here. Awesome, great. The other thing is that, aside the fact that some people are, there's this lifestyle creep, there's also the part of, salary versus asset, not putting it towards asset. Another big issue that also happens with high income earners is the fact that, they do not build the wealth in the right order. What does this mean? And this is like the biggest one, right? They don't build it in the right order, because you can be making money, you can be saving, but if you don't follow the right principle or the right step, Jesus' wife, how are you? And rich vibes, welcome here, and every other person. Let's keep tapping out the life, and let's keep sharing the life across, so that some other people can come learn as well. So, and if you're just meeting me, subscribe to the channel. Let's talk about this. Why are high earners? Why do they still feel broke? Okay, one is the salary versus asset mindset, right? Two is the lifestyle inflation, and now the biggest one that I always talk about is a lot of people do not understand the order of wealth, right? Most professionals do not understand. We were taught that, okay, they were taught how to earn, but we were not taught the real order of wealth. Okay, some people, and what do I mean? Some people will get money today, they save it and they start investing, right? Well, that is a good thing, but it is not the most optimized way of building wealth. Okay, what does this mean? The right order of wealth is this: you're supposed to have your emergency fund. You are supposed to have your making sure that you are paying off your debt. If there's anything above 10%, you're making sure that you have your emergency fund. You're making sure then you go to investing. Which of the investments should you start for? And all of that. Those are the things that we will talk about here today. What is the right order? So the wrong order, the wealth order, most professionals miss. Okay. Then the other thing is the system. The wealthy follow a different system entirely. Okay, because building wealth is totally different from you trying to say that, okay, you want to build wealth is different from earning income. Building wealth is you being an owner. Being an earner is you earning an income. You're getting your paycheck, you're getting your salary. That is you being an earner. Being an owner is what helps you to actually build wealth, right? Earner will help you pay bills. Ownership is going to help you build wealth. That's just the difference between the two, just the same way. So, just most people invest in the wrong order. So let me tell you the right order that you are supposed, and that's going to be like the biggest part of this teaching. The number one, it starts with your income. So except you have you want some jackpot, or you are a trust kid, or your parents left some good fortune for you. Everybody starts with income, right? You went to school, you got a job, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're is whatever, right? A tech expert or anything, or you're a doctor like myself, right? Your parents, you have done well. Everybody's wealth starts with something, which is your income, because there has to be something that has to fund your bill. There has to be something that needs to fund your wealth, one way or the other. So it starts with income. So do not despise the days of your beginning, or don't follow those people that say don't get a job, go and do a business. Business is good, but that is your starting point. So you need to ensure that that is very stable. Here we are building $1 million community. Call it $1 million league. That's what we're doing here. And we say that even if you have not started, even if you are not earning a six-figure yet, let your goal be at least a six-figure income. Okay, and let it be steady, right? Because we need that to be steady for 10 years to get to that millionaire status, $1 million in 10 years. That is the goal within this community. Okay, so if you want to be a part of that, that is the goal. Okay, some of us have achieved it, and we're just helping as many people to achieve the same goal. Okay, so that is what this is all about, building millionaire status. So it starts with your six-figure salary. So let's assume that you're not even you do not have a six-figure salary right now. That's fine. You have to have what is your strategy on getting there. Okay, number two ways that we have talked about, that I often talk about, is one is increasing your skill set. So what does this mean? It doesn't mean that you're going back to college, or you're going to go incur some college debt. No, you are just going to basically get some certification, and free certification. Go on Google Coursera, go on Harvard Business School. There's so many free training, or trainings that you can do that in less than $1,000. You are good with a fantastic return on investment, right? You can go on all of that, and you will be able to increase your income. I personally increased my income by $30,000 13 years ago, right? 13 years ago, that's how I moved from corporate finance to technology, right? I became a compliance officer from the system standpoint, from a tech standpoint. From finance, being the compliance person on the book side, I was doing lesser job, and I was able to increase my income by $30,000 in less than 5 months, right? That was all that it takes, less than $1,000. As a matter of fact, $500 was what it took for me to take the certification with isaka.com, and I was able to increase my income just by that, $30,000, just by that, with $500 investments, basically. So those are things that you want to look into, like Google Coursera. You can actually get some for free. Harvard Business School, there are so many for free. If you want to get some skills, like you want to help with learn about content creation, or you want to learn about video editing. People actually pay people to be a content manager, video editing, all of those, social media, whatever. You can learn all of those on YouTube, and you can use it to actually increase your income. That's one way. The other way is that supplement your income. So right now, let's say you are at 70,000. The goal is 100 and six-figure salary. You can look for some other things that you can actually do to get the additional 30,000. Of course, maybe something like rental arbitrage, right? Where you rent a place and you use it for short-term rental. That's an example. Or you can take your car and use it on Toro, right? When you're not driving the car to work, you rent it out on Toro. You can ride Uber, right? Those are ways you can actually supplement your income. There are some places where they're like, in a day you are making in 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever number of hours, you can get as much as $100, $200 a day, right? A day or 4 hours or 3 hours riding Uber. That is, if you do it, maybe weekends, that's $200 times four. That is $800 to $1,000. That is an additional income for you right there. That's $12,000 a whole year. That is how you can supplement that income. And if you even do it for more hours instead of you watching Netflix, that's the time that you can actually use. Or you can also do TT shop. There's so many other things that you can do on the side just to supplement your income. So because it starts with income. See, now if your income is here and your expense is here, right? You are increasing this income. It's here, but you keep your lifestyle. Most of the time, people are, as the income is increasing, they are increasing the expense, and the expense is catching up, is chasing it. That's where there's a problem. But if you keep it this way and your expense is here, even though your income is increasing, you change your job, you get additional skills, you get all of that, and you maintain it for a little bit. It's called delayed gratification. That difference is what is going to help you to build wealth. Okay, so the first thing is, it starts with your income. It starts with your income. Think about it. If your income is, you earn 300,000. Nisha Me, I don't know if you know her. She had something that was posted today. If your income is 300,000 and your expense is 300,000, you don't have anything left. If somebody that is earning 70,000 and the person spends lifestyle is 50,000 and has 20,000 and use it towards investing, that person is actually wealthier than you that is earning 300,000. So it's not in the numbers, and I think that's what resonated with over there's a post on my Instagram page right now. It's over 1.2 million views, and it's almost about that, telling that it's while what you earn helps you grow the wealth faster. But if you using the same strategy, but if you are not disciplined and you are spending your expenses as high as your income, there's no point. You're just using your salary or your income to fund lifestyle. You're just using your life to pay bills. Your life that you earn $200 a day, or let's say you earn $200 in 10 hours or in 8 hours, and you just use everything at a sitting. You're just trading your life and just using it to fund liabilities. You're using it to fund things that are not that is not adding value to you. Okay, so income stability is the first thing, right? And we talked about that. The second thing that in terms of wealth building, like the exact order you should build wealth, is once you have your income that is stable, the second thing that you want to have is your emergency fund. What's an emergency fund? Your basic needs, your housing, your transportation, your feeding, and of course your utilities, the gas and all of those things, gas, heating system, anything that keep you for 1 month. You have to have that. The goal is 3 to 6 months. But first of all, you start with 1 month. So let's assume that you just started a job right now. You got a 6-figure salary or whatever income that you get. The first thing that you want to from month 1 is start putting everything aside, as much aside, towards your emergency fund that will cover for 1 month. That's the first thing. What does that mean? Think about the protection first. Let's assume something happens, emergency happen, there's the loss of income. You can still take care of yourself for at least another 1 month while you figure yourself out again and you can move on, right? So that's some of the mistakes that high income earners make, right? Because they don't have that emergency fund. So things happen, then they run into debt, okay? And then they are now paying high interest debt. But if they have an emergency fund, in the case of an emergency, they are able to take care of the situation, and then they move back and it's business as usual, okay? So emergency fund is the second order, that you should have. And where do you put this emergency fund? IU savings account. IU savings account, just go Google the best IU savings account in March 2026, right? You will see there, it gives you return gives you 3 to 5%. It's just your regular bank account. The only thing is that it's just a higher interest savings account versus your regular Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo that is return 0.01% or even 0% on your savings account. So why do you put them in an IU savings account and you don't put them in an investment? Because it's for emergency. Just in case something happens, you can access it because it's your normal bank account and it's just that every dollar must be put to work. Okay, let's share the life. Let's tap out the life and share the life. I know we're all locked in, and for my YouTube community, I know we're all locked in as well. Let's share the life. Let's tap out the life as well. We're talking about the exact order to build wealth, and why exactly, what are the high income earners? What are they doing differently? What are they doing the wrong way that is making them not to build wealth? Thank you so much for all of the likes. Really appreciate that, because that is just going to make this place popular, and then you have some more people come all the way from the FYP. Motto and G's, thank you us all for the likes. G's, Motto, Double Twins Mom, Messi, Lazy Mom is asleep. Alex, you. Yeah. So the second thing, like I said, emergency fund in an IU savings account, returning 3 to 5%. So like a Vero will give you 5%, like Capital One give you 3.3%. SoFi would give you SoFi gives you about 4%. Okay. So thank you so much for the follow, Double Twin Mom. So those are the ways that you can actually build wealth. Okay, that's how you actually. That's the second thing. Income stability. 1, 2 is your emergency fund. 3 is the one that I always, you call it the debt payoff. Right? People make mistakes. Life happens. Maybe you've used credit card in the past, or you've taken loan. Things that happen, or you have any high interest debt that is above 10%, you want to focus on it next. Okay, when you get your income, your emergency fund, then the third is your high interest debt. Why do I talk about high interest debt? The high interest debt is taken away from you. What does this mean? So think about it. They say that the borrower is always a slave to the lender, and until the borrower, finish paying off the lender, he will continue to be a slave. You don't want to be a slave, but not literally. In the literal sense, what this means is you are paying on those credit cards, you are paying 27%, 28%, right? 21%, right? So think about it. You have to, most high income earners, they do it wrongly. They would jump from income, they go straight to investing. And if you do it that way, you would struggle. That's part of the reason why you're losing money, right? Reason why, if you miss these two, emergency fund and high interest debt, let me tell you what that happens, and you just jump straight to the next one, which is investing. These two, in the case there's an emergency, what you would run back and you would start taking high interest debt. Okay? Because, maybe you don't have income anymore. A lot of people, with everything that is going on in the economy, they said this is the highest time that they have seen people withdraw from their 401k, because there's a lot of hardship. Either we want to talk about it or not. And people are going through a lot of hardship, and they even said BlackRock had to shut it down yesterday or something, or some days ago, not allowing people make withdrawals from their 401k. These are not retired people. We are talking about people below 59 and a half. They said that's the highest they have seen in the history. So, but guess what? In case there's an hardship, right? All those people doing that, they don't have any plans. They never saw it coming, right? That, something like this would happen. But guess what? They are now falling back on their future self, right? Which is 401k. But let's assume that they have saved money and put it in towards their emergency fund. They have 3 months, 6 months saved off. What you realize is that they would still be okay for another 3 months, 6 months, okay? And they will be fine, right? While they are looking for the next thing, right? Then the second part of it is that you see the high interest debt. High interest debt, if you go and start investing, let's say you start putting your money in an S&P 500 that we talk about here, and you put it in, last year it returned 18%. Typically, average is returned between 8 to 12%. In the past 10, 20, 30 years, right? That's what is returned averagely. But you go and take a debt, use credit card, and the debt is at 27%. Even at 18%, let's even say 20% in terms of investment. It means that you are, after you have the investment that you said you are making, you are getting a return of 20%, but you are using that return on 20%, you are using it to fund debt at 27%. So you are not just only just investing and just using it to pay the lender, you are still owing another 7%. So why not just pay off the lender first, and then you can now start investing, because you are almost at minus. Even if you take the money, let's assume that you are owing $1,000 in debt, right? And you have $1,000, you want to go use it to invest. The $1,000 that you want to go use it, you now decide to invest. The investment gives you 20%, right? But this debt, it gives you, it's at 27%. It means that you are supposed to pay back 1,270. Dr. Aaron, welcome here. Welcome. You're not paying 1,270, so 1,270 is what you're paying, right? But then your interest, your investment is at 1,200. It means that you are still owing 70. You are not just taking the return of this $200 that you are getting. You are also still owing you're still owing the entire 270. So it really does not, and it means that you are losing an additional $70. That's what it means. And just think about it. It could be 10,000, it could be 100,000, it could be any amount. That's how you might think that, oh, it's normal. But why not just pay that debt first? Pay off the debt, then you can now start going to the next stage, which is investing. So that's why I call these first three the foundation. Okay, if the foundation is bad, right? What can the righteous do? So you, first of all, foundation, fix the foundation. So foundation is number one, your income. All right, make sure that, okay, it's work towards increasing your income, right? Getting additional skill set, or getting supplementing your income, more additional stream of income. Number two is having your emergency fund for emergency in an IU savings account, giving you 3 to 5%. Number three is high interest debt. Pay it off, right? Start working towards it. And how can you pay it off? Use the snowball method. You can use snowball method. You can use the avalanche method, or you can use the debt consolidation. Debt consolidation are always, even though it could be a very fantastic tool, but if you are not disciplined with the money, it's almost going to be like you are bringing all the money together, paying some fees on it, but at the end of the whole thing, you are doing the same thing all over again. So discipline is the number one thing. Then you can do debt consolidation, where, think about it, maybe you have debt with credit card with Bank of America, but you also have personal loan, and then you also have with Chase, and you bring everything together into one place, and the interest rate is a little bit lower, and then you start paying that from one place. It just helps with organization, and it can also help you reduce how much you're paying. That's one. The other one is snowball method, which is pretty popular. Look for the smallest, right? It helps with your mental health and motivation. The smallest of the one with the least balance. Start with that one, clear it off, pay the minimum balance for the other ones, but focus on the smallest, right? The smallest balance. Pay that one off, then go to the next one, do the same thing, like that. That's that snowball method. It just helps you to have self-actualization that, oh yeah, think about it, I've paid one, okay, let me go to the next one. I paid one, just about that. Then there's the avalanche method. Avalanche method in itself is look at the one with the highest interest, right? That one is going to put the most money in your pocket, because the one with the highest interest, start with that one regardless of the balance. Start paying off that one, pay the minimum balance on the other one, and like that from the highest to the least, regardless of the balance. So that is avalanche method, but use whichever of the method that works for you. Sylvie, welcome. Sean, welcome here, and thank you all for sharing the life. W Twin Mom, Motto, Dr. Aaron, Oti Flourish, Lazy Mom. Yeah, so welcome every one of you. And this is what we're talking about, the exact order to build wealth. because we have situations, a lot of situations why our earners are broke, all right, or where they're not building wealth. Okay, so now that you have fixed all of this foundation, right? Oh, you have fixed this foundation, right? Income, emergency fund, and debt creation. I mean, I debt payoff. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and follow, consider doing that. Now is the time, because we thought we are building $1 million league. That's what this community is all about. All right. So if you want, if that's your goal, then we're doing it in 10 years. You want to be a part of the subscribe, follow my subscribe on my YouTube channel. It's Money Talk with Dr. Lina across board. Edward, thank you so much for the follow. And on TikTok and Instagram, it's also Money Talk with Dr. Lina. We're going to be putting all the strategies. 10 years, we're not joking. We've done it, we're doing it, and every other person that is a part of that community, so far you meet all of the requirements, okay, which I'm going to talk about by the end. You will be there. You will be there in 10 years. 2036 is what it takes to get to a million. To be a million, trust me, millionaires are not from another planet. They are just regular people like you and I. Awesome. Now, the next thing is, having done the first three, the next step is investing, which is where a lot of people, the war. Oh yeah, the war. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, later, because that is going to be keeping a lot of people, we'll talk about that because all the prices and everything is going up right now. It's really, really going up. So we'll talk about that right after. All right. So investing is the other part of it. Investing in ETFs. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Aaron. Investing. Now, a lot of people jump and they just go straight to investing. That's the wrong way. And that's part of the reason why some of the high income earners are broke, right? Investing can now come next. What is investing? Where do we invest? Okay, you have to invest in the right places and you have to invest the right way. Okay, so what are a lot of time people just say investing, they don't know where to start, or their friends just tell them go put money here, or they just see something on social media. Okay, the chart is going this way or it's going that way. Go and buy this penny stock, or do options trading. You need to, it's your money, you have worked hard for it. You need to do your research before you do anything investing. So I have lost money in the stock market. I lost close to $100,000. My friend lost 50,000 to Tesla options trading in 1 week. I lost close to 100 to day trading, penny stock, and a little bit of option trading. I didn't do so much of option trading. And that's when I started doing my own research, because I realized that not investing means that I will not build wealth. So what is the right way to actually build wealth? Or what are the ways? Do you have an investment license? I just talk about, I'm a chartered accountant, if that really helps, okay? I'm a chartered accountant, and I'm an economist as well, and I'm a serial investor with 18 years of experience in investing. So basically, when it comes to investing, what did I do with my own portfolio after losing money? What did I do? I basically researched, okay? I'm a doctor of business. So I did research and I said, okay, so where does the wealthy? They keep saying that the wealthy, they put money in investing. So if I lost money, how come they are not losing money? So that's what I want all of us to go do right now. If you have your laptop on the side, where does the wealthy put their money? When I mean wealthy, multi-millionaires and the billionaires, where do they put their money? Okay? And I can tell you, but you can also confirm back to me. The number one you would see, they would say in the stock market, in simple ETFs, and in the stock market, and the second an index fund, and the second thing is real estate. You would now see some other things like venture capital, startups. You would see, all the way down, you see something like crypto, but those are not even the old generation, maybe the new money, but the old generation will just tell you those first two that I talked about, and businesses is the other one. So you can go on Google. I always say that there's so many craps on this social media space. So always trust but verify. Go on Google, ChatGPT is your friend. Go and search it yourself. Where does the multi-millionaire, I did not say millionaire, multi-millionaire and the billionaires, where do they put their money? and then you come back to me. So that was number one. Number two was I also searched when I listened to Warren Buffett. Who knows Warren Buffett? The owner of Hathaway is worth 1.6 billion, right? He owns Hathaway. His brokerage firm or hedge fund firm is they call him the Lord of investing. It's really old right now. When they asked him, so Mr. Buffett, where do you put your money, or where do you advise us to put our money? And he said, keep it simple index funds, ETFs. That's what he said. I said, okay, this man knows what he's doing. He's done it for years, and there's a reason why they call him the Lord of investing. That's it. And then I started also, because there's something like I said, I'm a doctor of business and technology. There's something in doctorate, right, where they call it triangulation. You need to triangulate your facts, right, before you can say, okay, this actually works, right? You can say this is a fact, right? It has to be confirmed, corroborated by three things or three facts. I've already told you two, right? One is the individual, which is Warren Buffett. Two is the fact that where does the multi-millionaires and the billionaires, and if anybody cares to put it in the comments, whatever I said, multi-millionaires and the billionaires, put in the comment, where do they put their money? If you go and if you go on ChatGPT on Google, put it there in the comment section. Let me confirm, all right? So that you know, Dr. Lina, you're lying. Dr. Lina, is not true. Now is your time. Okay, now is your time to confirm if truly whatever I said was true or not. So the third thing that I used to triangulate was, okay, yes, they put money in in the stock market, but I lost money in stock market. So, but Mr. Buffett said put money in ETFs. Okay, so now I know the ETFs, and then I went and checked. I said, okay, what sort of ETFs, right? And then I looked. S&P 500, keep it simple, S&P 500, and I looked at it. It's returned averagely between 8 to 12% averagely for the past 10, 20, 30 years. That's it that I need. I really do not need 50% return, 100% return overnight, because I know that the rule of 72 says if you double your money every 7 years, right? Just with even an S&P 500. So it simply means that if I put 100,000 in 7 years, that 100,000, just putting it in that same vehicle that I've returned averagely 8 to 12% for the past 10, 20, 30 years, averagely. Last year, I returned 18%. If I put it in that vehicle, it means that I will double my money in 7 years. Okay, if I put 100,000, instead of me losing the 100,000 that I lost, right? If I put 100,000 in the stock in an S&P 500, my money would have turned to 200,000. It might not be 500,000 in 7 years, but at least 200,000. I wouldn't have lost it. It's almost like a easy guarantee for me, right? Because with the trend and everything, I've seen somebody that I've already done this in the past, right? That's one. Two, I was like, okay, so in 14 years, right? Compound interest, the eighth wonder of the world, right? So it means that my 200,000 will become 400,000 in 14 years. That 100,000 will become 400,000 in 14 years. And I know that it would even be earlier. Okay, that's fine, 400,000, the same 100,000. And then in 21 years, it becomes 800,000. And in 28 years, it becomes 1.6 million, my $100,000. That I literally just lost in the stock market. And I said, count me in. That's it. There's no point wanting to double my money overnight, because I am here for the long haul. I'm not here. This place is not for the get rich quick scheme. If you want something that is quick, I've been there. Fire burn, I've lost money. But here is something that is steady and it grows, and that is how the wealth is built. Right? So the fourth thing is investing. Invest in ETFs. What are ETFs? ETFs are just bouquet of stocks. Individual stock, you want Amazon, you like Apple, but at the same time you like Meta because you like Zuckerberg, and then but also Nvidia is also good because its tech is AI. All of them, top 500 companies in America. That's it, boom. How do I start investing? I don't know which stock should I want. Do I buy 500, the top 500 companies in America, S&P 500, and it's called, the ticker symbol is VOO, SPY, IVV. Those three, they are the same across, but it's just that the difference between them is the brokerage firm that owns it. VOO is Vanguard, SPY is State Street, then I think what's this one is BlackRock, IVV. All of them has returned the same average. The only thing is that the fee structure might be 0.01 difference. That's just the only thing. Like, the difference is not much, but they've returned. If this one returns 17.5, this one returned 18.1, it's still the same angle. Top 500. And if you want to say that, okay, you know what? I don't even want to do 500, right? Do the entire US stock market. And you'd say that, okay, what if the US stock market goes down or whatever? Then edge against it and say that, okay, I'll buy the US market, but I will buy everything outside of the US market globally, right? And you buy it. Just go on Google, or just go on Google and search top ETFs to buy, in 2026. Look for the first 2 or 3. I can tell you VOO, SPY would be one of those top, right? Right there, okay? And you just invest in it. Boom. What does this do? Your $100. That's top. You are buying 500 companies. Why? And you're wondering, so why does the world put their money there? Because number one, dropped it on your YouTube. Oh, yes, I do have it on YouTube, Dr. Aaron. It's on YouTube. I do have these on YouTube. So if you are just if you have not seen it, please go there. I think I dropped it some months back. You'd see it, SCHD, VOO, QQQ, all of those. You see it there. Even how to buy your renter, you would find it there. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? Because there's so many resources there for you. Money Talk with Dr. Lina is my name across all platforms. So go and subscribe. If you haven't, right? I believe everybody has got YouTube access. So G's, Double Twin Mom, Motto, Dr. Aaron, OT Flourish, Edward. So that's like 8 people. So I'm expecting that, okay, I have 8 subscribers there on YouTube today, because I know that, because they're so really, even though it just helps you to also build wealth. So I dropped the response to where billionaires put their money. Okay, all right, okay. So you put the response where, let me see. Okay. Did I miss that earlier? So yeah, okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for Dr. Aaron for that. Thank you. And if anybody cares to also go search. Oh, on my YouTube. Okay, on the YouTube. Thank you so much for that. So they can go check it as well. Awesome. What was I saying? So investing, ETFs, simple ETFs. So you want to just start investing whenever your $100, right? Investing is the simplest thing ever. It's just like your normal bank account. A lot of time people say, I want to invest, but I don't know where to start. Just open a Fidelity, Schwab's, Ameritrade, what's it called? E-Trade, what's this other one? Schwab's, Fidelity, Robinhood. Just open any of those accounts, right? And every single month, let your ACH, as you are paying taxes, the same way. Do not let it slide. Pay the taxes to yourself. Pay yourself first by putting some money towards that. Set it up and forget it. Just the same way you are always doing after tax. You don't even know how much you earn, right? You don't know. You only see it after tax. Just the same way. See it after paying yourself. Every single paycheck, put the money in there. It's not you. Automate it so that you don't see it. Then it goes into that account. And then when it goes into that account, set it up in the brokerage accounts as well to buy any of this VOO, SPY, or just go on Google, choose the ETF, the ETF with the top returns or projected returns in 2026 or for the next 10 years. Anything, just Google it and just do it. I do VOO, SPY, IVV, and I talk about that. You'll see those ones are pretty popular. Those are they track the top 500 companies in there. That's number one. The other one is SCHD, right? No, QQQ, Nasdaq 100, right? The top 100 tech companies. Tech is the future. I mean, there is a reason why. I mean, I am a doctor of business and technology. I also lecture AI, cybersecurity, and deep learning in the university. I teach kids, right? And because of that, I know about technology. So it just makes sense that you put money, but the risk is high. So is the return. So as you have 8 to 12%, that is about 18 to 22%, right? So you've seen maybe like a Google or like a Microsoft, like an Nvidia, all of those, but these are top 100 of it. So with your $100, you can say that, okay, you know what? I'm buying S&P 500. That is 500 companies. You spread your risk across 500. You buy maybe $60 of VOO, and then you buy $40 of QQQ. You have bought 600 companies. What does this help you to do? It spreads your risk. Why does the wealthy put there? They do not want to put their eggs in one basket. They want to spread their risk across multiple companies, such that if one company goes down, you love Amazon so much, right? But guess what? What if, AWS, their data center gets compromised, right? And there's a data breach or there's a vulnerability. What happens? People can say that, oh, you know what? It's not a risk, right? Let's switch to another data center. We don't want to do with AWS, whatever anymore. And because of that, they lose clients. The stock is going to go down because it's going to impact Amazon. Even if retail is still good, it's going to impact Amazon, right? So because of that, stock goes down. If you have just invested your money in Amazon, it means that your stock will go down. But guess what? If you have bought multiple of it, you have Apple there, you have Meta, you have all of that. What will happen? You realize that even if one falls, you still have 499. If 10 falls, right? Because maybe all of these everything in energy has gone down or something. You still have retail that is doing well. You still have some other sectors, that is doing well. So, and that's why it's about edging of risk, because nobody except you are God. You don't know what's happening. Nobody saw the war coming. Nobody knew that, gas would be, as of today, as of last month, if anybody had told me that I'm going to be buying gas $5 a gallon, I would say never, because I still bought it at $2.33. Yeah, I'm angry about it. Yes, I'm angry about it because you might be wondering, what am I talking about? I'm very angry because I had to pay $100. $100 is what I used to fill my gas pump. Who is feeling it as well? Who is angry as well? Who is angry like myself, on this gas issue? Because I am very, very angry. And to think that your salary is not going up, by the way, but everything is double. And I hope we also know the ripple effect of that, because it's not just going to be gas, it's going to be groceries. Everything is going to get expensive because it takes costs. It's gas or energy that they use to do production. It's energy for transportation. It's energy to put it on the shelf. So all of those things, everything just is going to start gradually going up. All of us that likes McDonald's and those fast food, it's going to go up very, very soon. So you better start thinking of it. You're cooking at home, like I've always talked about. Awesome. God's child, welcome. Awesome. So ETF. So number one, I talked about the S&P 500. Number two, I talked about the QQQ, which is Nasdaq 100. Another one is SCHD, which is dividends. Think about dividend kings. What are dividend kings? Or they call them dividend autocrat or ethnocrat or whatever. They've been paying dividend for the past 100 years. So, like one of the companies I love so much because I worked there for 8 years, like a Procter & Gamble, makers of Tides, Always, and Gillette and so many other things, right? That particular company, they have been paying dividends for over 100 years, right? These are companies that you're going to be having in there. What are dividends? Dividends are basically, aside the fact that you're getting your stock is increasing or your ETF is increasing or you're getting a return of 18%, like in terms of growth. They will also be paying you a, you'll be doing profit sharing. Think about it that way. Profit sharing. So they make revenue, or their net profit is certain million. They're going to share it with you as part of owners. So as part of owners of that particular company. So it is giving you cash flow. You don't even necessarily need to sell the ETF or the stock. You don't need to sell it, but you are still going to be getting returns every single month. That's the beauty of it. That's why you have some people that would say, "Oh, I live on my investments," right? Because you can, if you let's assume you have $1 million or you have $2 million, you will just simply be getting dividends every single month, even though your 2 million is still there growing, in terms of the stock going up or the ETF going up, but they are still paying you, and people actually survive on those dividends. That is what is called cash flow, right? That's what is called making your money work harder than you do, working for you, and you live on it, right? So that's the other one. Very absolutely fantastic. But I always say that whenever they give you that dividend, since you are also still working, remember it starts with your income, right? You are still going to be reinvesting that money. That's how it's growing, right? We are reinvesting it, okay? So the other part of it, the last one, which I don't invest in, because full transparency, I don't invest in. The reason, and I'm going to get into it shortly, is REIT, okay? I tell my community we're buying REIT because we are spreading it. We have technology, we have growth, we have dividends, right? Then we also had REIT. REIT is ETF for real estate, right? It's real estate. So you probably would have seen properties in downtown, or you see this apartment complex, or maybe you live in one that have 1,000 units of 3 bedroom, and you're wondering who owns this thing, right? Some of them are owned by companies, right? Some of them, you'd have heard people say, "Oh, BlackRock is buying houses, is buying single family home," even though they say that do not buy homes, be renting. They are buying. So those are those companies they buy, right? They're called, I will probably, you'd have seen malls, right? You might wonder who owns malls, who owns all those movie theater, all those high rises. Some of them are owned by these companies. So they're also on the US stock exchange, and using using public money to trade as well. So a basket of that as well, right? What does this help you to do? You're spreading your risk. You are diversifying your portfolio. One thing you hear a lot here is everything we are talking about is not rush, is not risky. We're trying to keep it simple. We are edging against the risk. We're trying to keep it. It might not be like fire, 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 but it's growing slowly. It's growing. I will not say slowly. It's growing, but we are not going to be losing money. Or the goal is not to be losing money. Okay, so that's all of the investment, like the ETFs where I talk about. That's the investment. Number one, remember, we're talking about the exact order to build wealth, right? Income stability, emergency fund, debt payoff, and now we are investing in ETFs or index funds. Thank you all for tapping out the live. Thank you for sharing the live. Let's do that one more time while I go to the next one. Who wants to know the reason why I'm not investing in REITs? Who wants to know? Before I go ahead, who wants to know why I'm not investing in REITs? I just want to make sure that people are not just sleeping and just, sorry, that's the teacher in me. Remember, I'm a professor. G's, Oti Flourish, Lazy Mom, Tropical Queen. How are you, Mike? Edward, Mara, Sonny, Mayalistic. Yeah, who wants to know? Okay. All right, let's keep tapping out the live. Let's tap out the live. Let's share out the live. Let's share the live one more time. That would be great. Okay, yes, Oti Flourish wants to know. Okay, great. Let's keep tapping out. And if you are new on TT and YouTube, that's because we have TT on the side, right? Let's keep tapping. Tapping is just do that. It just helps the live gets more popular, and more people will come here and they can learn about, understand the reason why they are earning so much, but at the same time they are broke, right? Because they're living paycheck to paycheck, and just so they can also understand the order to build, the right way to build wealth. Okay, awesome. So the reason why I do not put money in REITs is because I am very heavy in real estate, right? The traditional real estate, which is the fifth thing right? The second part of investing, the 15th thing that we are talking about in terms of wealth building, the right order. Real estate is one of the things that we will talk about here, because I put, so yeah, I'm very, I own and I manage double digit real estate portfolio. Okay, so not just own but manage it, right? Double digit real estate portfolio. So because of that, I cannot, it's almost going to swing my portfolio. Yes, you love real estate. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's nobody should, it should not be it's a no-brainer for anyone. Okay, and you will know the reason why. Ot Flourish loves it and I love it so much. Okay, or I put so much of my income, so much of what I own in there, right? But however, I am spreading my risk across board. So even if anything falls in real estate, remember there's always a cycle, right? They call it correction. Things go down, then it comes back again, like that, right? If this is down, I have my ETF portfolio. If this is down, so that's the way you spread your risk, because I also aligned it for the multi-millionaire and the billionaires, right? They are not chasing after get rich quick scheme. They are not chasing after options. And that thing that I said you should go and check, where multi-millionaires or billionaires, what I talked about earlier. I hope you no, but did you guys see options trading there? Just wrapped up an event this weekend. You get a oh yeah, absolutely. You are just ahead, right? Absolutely. You're very correct. Instead of so real estate is one thing that pays you in four different ways, right? Remember, when we're talking about ETFs, ETF is either you get the growth 18%, 8 to 12%. That's what I talked about, and maybe dividends, right? But thanks so much for the follow. Right? But on top of that, when it comes to real estate, you are getting 4 paychecks. You are looking for multiple stream of income. That's it right there. Right? Number one, it pays you cash flow, right? Like Oti Flory said, cash flow is the number one thing. Cash flow, what is cash flow? You're using the tenant's money, you're using the bank's money as a leverage to buy a property, and then you are using the tenant's money to pay the bank. And who owns the property? More. You owns the property, right? So the tenant owes you, you get the property for 200,000. Your mortgage is 1,500, right? To pay back the bank. But the tenant is you rent out the house to the tenant for $2,000. The difference, 1,500 to 2,000, that's $500. That's cash flow. That $500 comes to you as the owner of the property. That is cash flow right there. So that's number one way of getting money, which is the one that everybody shouts about. And I'll say that that's even changed. That's no money, right? Because it could be $200. At times you might not even get anything, right? But ideally you should be able to get something, but that's cash flow. The second part of it is equity. Equity is every single time that you pay the bank 1,500, you're not dashing them money. You are reducing your loan your mortgage, your loan balance. You're reducing it every single year, every single month, okay? Thereby also increasing your ownership, your stake in that particular property. Tio, thank you so much for the follow. You are increasing your stake and your ownership in that particular property. What does this mean? It simply means that, let's assume just the same example, 200,000 property, 150 is what you owe or whatever, or let's even say 200,000 is what you owe. Every single year you're paying 1,500 every single year, every single month, right? That means in the whole year, that is about 15,000, that's $18,000, right? That's 18,000. It means you have reduced how much you owe the bank. That's an equity. If you do it for 5 years, let's say 10 years or whatever, 10 years, that is 180,000. Of course, it's not going to be literally 180,000 because, there's always an amortization. They always focus on getting their interest in the early number of years. So it's not going to be like the way I describe it, but you get the idea. But that's how you can actually reduce how much. Let's say by the year 10, you now owe 100,000. You might be wondering, yes, I know that, yes, I have. It means that you have the property is 200,000. You have paid the bank 100,000. You now have 100,000 equity in that property. It means in terms of your cash that is sitting in that property is 100,000. And you're like, yes, but it's still the building is until you sell it. No, you don't need to sell it. You can actually simply take cash out refinance, right? And just say, okay, this is cash out refinance. I'm taking it. I want to cash out refinance. I think up to 70, between 65 to 80% or 75% is what you can get out. So it means that 80% of that 100,000, that's $80,000 that you can actually get out from that property, which is actual cash, not in numbers, cash, which you can use to do what? Buy the next property, not to use it to buy purse or buy car. Buy it to use the next assets. Right, so that's just it, right? So that is the second thing, equity, right? You can also do home equity line of credit where you would have like a credit line of that 80,000. You don't take it out, but it's there, it's sitting with you, just like a credit card. Like it's a credit line, you can use it. So you can use it to quickly fund deals. Let's say you want to buy another property, or you can simply use it for your emergency funds. Like, just say that. I'm not saying you should do that. You should have your emergency fund separately, but I'm just saying, you can, that is real cash. That's what, anyway, you understand the drift. That is the second way. So first is what? Cash flow. Second is equity. The third paycheck that you get from real estate is appreciation. What is appreciation? Appreciation, I always say that this last two is the most beautiful out of all. Appreciation. Appreciation simply means that your property, just like rule of 72, ETFs or doubles its value every 7 years. Real estate doubles its value every 10 years. It means that that property of 200,000 would worth 400,000 by 2036. That's it. And you might be wondering, so Dr. Lina, how do I look? Go on Google. Go and do it yourself, right? It grows every 10% every average, I think about 10% every year or something. That's how it grows. But for the property that we bought in 2016, right? No, 2017, July 2017. It's not yet 10 years. It's already doubled its value. It's just going to be 9 years, July 2026. It's already doubled its value, but you need to buy it right? You see some people will say, no, it's not possible. That's because some of them, they did not buy it right. They were chasing some people that bought 3 years ago that they were doing bidding war, where the property owner says the property, you prefer the equity line of credit, you only charge interest when you draw, and if you pay quickly, yes, actually, yeah, exactly. So you use it for the deal and you use it, that's what I was explaining, yeah. And then you don't pay closing costs as well on that. So, or if the closing cost is pretty minimal, maybe $500 thereabout. Awesome. So, okay, appreciation. Now you don't need to. So for some people, the landlord says, or the owner of the property says, this house is worth 300,000. Then you start doing bidding. No, I will pay 325 because you have 50 people on this property. Why? Just wait. So some people already bought the price, or they bought the property above the property value. And then you would say that, oh, you know what? I did not, is a problem. That's it, because the property is what? 300,000. You are the one that is doing fear of missing out, right? FOMOing and saying that I want to buy it at 350. Because if it was 350, the landlord will not say, or the owner will not say it's 300,000. So you have to buy it right to be able to achieve, because guess what? Yes, even though the property would have still gone up, right? But they will not see this level of appreciation that I talked about, right? They will not. So think about it. It simply means, with appreciation, means that you have your money. You can after 10 years, you can literally take out your money out of that property, and the property is still going to be there. Like, you still have the building and you still have your money. There's nothing as beautiful as that. That's the third one. And the fourth one that I always call they call it the secret code. Because nobody wants to share it, right? It's the millionaire's code, right? And that's what they use to cheat. I will not say cheat. That's the hedge they have over the middle class. It's the tax deduction, the tax benefits that comes with real estate. That's the difference between when you are having REIT and you are having, aside these other ones that I talked about, or you are buying a syndication or something. When you are buying a home, like a traditional, you are going to be getting some very, very beautiful tax benefits. What does this mean? So let's assume that within the tax code, there's something called depreciation, accelerated depreciation. So if you bought a property, like that property that we have like 10 years, remember we talk appreciation, property doubled its value every 10 years. In accounting, in the books, property, land and machinery, and land, plant and machinery, all of that depreciates under, I think, 30 years. It's been a long time that I did mine. Yeah, 30 years, right? So what does this mean? It means that your value of the property, let's assume that property is 300,000. It means that by 30 years, it becomes zero. Like the value in itself, it's zero. Well, how does it become zero? Every single year, you are able, it's depreciating by 10, let's assume it's depreciating by 10,000 every single year for 30 years. That's what Secure Shift, welcome, how are you? 30 years is what is depreciated. So it means that, what does this mean? It means that you can easily be claiming 10,000 loss every single year on that 300,000 property. What does this mean? It simply means that, let's assume that you are we're talking about high income earners, right? Or your goal is high income, right? Let's assume that you are falling within 25, 23 to 30% tax bracket. And because of that, you are paying taxes, right? And your taxes is about, let's assume that your tax is, let's assume that your tax is, let's assume that your tax is, that's 10,000, right? $10,000 for the year. After you have filed tax, even though you have been paying tax you've been paying tax every single month, right? All through the year. But by the time you file your tax April 15th, some people already having panic attack right now. April 15th is around the corner. They don't have the 15,000 to pay back IRS, right? So, but realistically, you're still going to pay the IRS 15,000. But let's assume you bought property last year. And remember, depreciation, there's something called accelerated depreciation within the big, beautiful bill that you can actually accelerate. I'm not a tax consultant. I have tax consultant that file. But my understanding, the way it described it was everything you can accelerate your depreciation for the next 10 years, which is like 100,000, right? And say that, okay, I'm claiming it against my W-2 and you use it to reduce your taxable amount or whatever. Reduces it. That's one. The other thing, remember, you see, there's the PMI, right? The insurance, the interest, the not HOA is not part of it. The mortgage insurance, the what else again? If the house got damaged, let's say, HVAC got damaged, or you got vacancy because the house did not get rented. What else again? Roof got damaged, whatever. Anything that did not just make you happy. You can actually file it against your W-2. That money that you're supposed to pay Uncle Sam, you can file it. So at the end of the day, your chances of paying anything back is pretty low. The P5, how are you? Welcome. We're talking about the exact order to build wealth. Christian Brothers. Yeah, so that's just it. That's it. So that is the tax benefit with real estate is super huge. Super huge. So let anybody tell you anything. Yes, the plumbing, you will be the one to change light bulbs. The job that you are doing right now, was it easy for you to wake up this morning to go to that work? Didn't you see your boss looking at you with side eye? And as your boss not shouted at you in the past, whatever, but you still go ahead and show up. But I'm not even saying that it's not that difficult. It's not crazy. Real estate, it's not crazy. And because my portfolio is very heavy, that's the reason why I do not put money in REITs, right? And because I know of so many benefits that comes with real estate. So many tax, especially the tax benefit, right? Especially the tax benefit. That's part of the reason. Oti Flourish, G's, the P5, Christian Borders, Sonny, Messi, Lazy Mom, Tropical Queen, Mike, Edward, Tayuza, Mayalistic. Yeah, let us be tapping out the light. We can tap out the light. That would be great. I know we are all locked in, but that just help the life. And let's share the life as well, so we can help as many people just to be a part of this and learn this. Because, like I said, it's like the secret code. People don't want to share this, right? Because that's how the multimillionaires, like Mr. Donald, right? Even though we say that we don't agree with him, this he doesn't do. Yes, I so many things I do not. But that particular one, trust me, with the top thrower and with what he has in real estate, there's no reason why you, as a middle class or high as middle, somebody within, you'll be paying more taxes than him. And then he would even have a, what's it called? NGO, all those NGOs. Yeah, that's it right there. That's the reason why they don't pay taxes. That's why they never sell. Okay, they never sell. Instead of saying that they want to take they take a loan against that asset. I never sell real estate. I never. It's going to be there to the next generation. Even when I sell, I'm using it to 31 exchange another property. Maybe because the house is old and I want to upgrade, I would use it to 31 exchange into another similar property or a higher property. That's how wealth is built. Because remember, it's when you sell, that's when you sell your real estate, or when you sell your stock, that is when your asset, right? You will pay capital gain tax. You pay capital gain tax. So think about it. The property that we bought 10 years ago, if I'm supposed, let's say I want to sell right now, it's now double this value. I'm going to pay capital gain tax on the return on it, on the profits that I made on it, which is a lot of money. But guess what? I can take the same amount of money, cash out refinance, my friend. Remember one that we talked about earlier, OT Flores, cash out refinance, or you do ELOC, you will still access that same money. But guess what? I'm not going to pay $1 in terms of taxes on top of it. And that's how wealth is built. Tayusa, thank you so much for the follow. So Christian Brother said, I'm looking for the best option to get a line of credit with low interest rate. Any suggestion? Are you saying home equity line of credit? Is that what you're saying? Isabella Young, thank you so much for the follow. Are you saying home equity line of credit? Is that what you're saying? Or business line of credit? Which one? Oh, you're enjoying the lecture. Awesome. Yeah. As you're enjoying, keep tapping. And then remember, if you're enjoying this, then think about my video on YouTube, Money Talk with Dr. Lina. Absolutely amazing. This one, there's no editing, my hair and everything. Now think about the one that is really structured. You can sit down, binge watch, put it on your TV, take a note and paper and just start taking notes. And by the way, if real estate seems very, very interesting to you, I'll be doing a free training one time. It's going to be outside of the platform because I have multiple people on. I can only do it one time. I paid thousands of dollars whenever I wanted to start real estate years ago. I'll be doing it free, just like a community, giving back to the society, right? Do it one time. It's not going to be something on the book or whatever. It's going to be more of everything I've learned from my experience, how you can analyze deals, all these things that I'm talking about. And my goal is that by the time you are done, you should be able to be confident enough to go in your next deal. I was just telling, because whenever I'm buying property, I'm not buying from that's another thing. I'm buying from wholesalers. I am not buying at the real market value. So I am buying it I bought properties that, I bought it. Think about people that do fix and flip, right? I don't do fix and flip. I keep it, right? So I buy it and I fix it and I put it on rental. That's how we build our own portfolio, right? But some people sell it. So just think about it. Those people that sell it, it means that they are making so much profit, 30,000, 40,000, right? So just the same way, there are some properties that at the time when I bought it, the equity I have right away, right up front, that means it was close to like $100,000, right? So those are things, those are strategies. I just stuck with one of my wholesaler because there's one person here that is, I have to jump now. Yeah, absolutely. I'm passionate about women. Oh, thank you so much, OT Flourish. I'm so glad. I'm glad that I'm making impact and I'm adding value. That's my goal as well. That's my goal, just to add as much value to as many people as possible. Okay, so thank you so much. Stop by another time, and every other person here. So really, that's how, think about it with real estate. Think about it using the same example I have earlier. If you have 5 properties, let's assume that you have 5 properties. Each one is giving you $2,000. That's $10,000 right there. That's the six figure that you have to wake up every single day to go. Every single day of your life. So if I tell you that, okay, you know what? In 10 years, get those 10 properties. In 10 years, or if no, yeah, in 10 years, get those five of those properties and live for the rest of your life. If you want to work, you are working because you want to, not because you have to. But you just literally replace your six-figure salary. Through that way, is this something that you will not want to do? 10 years versus 40 years or 35 years. And that's what the $1 Million League is all about, right? So if you haven't followed, you haven't subscribed, you want to do that across all platforms, it's Money Talk with Dr. Lina. We're building the community just so, because it's going to be serious business. This is not going to be, it's people that are serious, people that want to change stories. You want to change the trajectory of their family, right? This is what it's going to be for, right? Initially, I'm not putting price to it or whatever, but we're going to be reading books. So there are going to be homework, right? You're going to be, part of the requirements for that community. It's going to be, these are books so that you can know I'm going to be teaching whatever I've done, right? That's why I'm saying 10 years, 5, 10, 5, credit 730, six-figure salary. Those are the requirements. Six-figure salary, or you are working towards it. So what's your path? If you are not in six-figure salary, we will have a discussion. What is your pathway and your timeline? So are you getting what skills are you getting? Not another college degree. Understand, your employers are paying for skills. They're not paying for a degree, not a paper, right? What skills are you getting to get to that six-figure salary? So this is going to change your mindset. It's a total mindset shift, right? Understanding that, okay, even with that six-figure salary, right? You just put in the bracket of the poor dad, which is an earner. We are moving to the $1 Million League is about moving to the rich dad status, right? Which is ownership status. When you own real estate, that's ownership. When you have ETF, that's ownership. Right? And you're going to be committing to certain things. So it's going to be, you probably would have been abusing some people. Those are trust kids, right? Let your children be trust kids. So it's not just about this generation, it's going to be about the coming generation, because that's how I got into real estate. I was doing 529, and 529 was not 529 for me, and that's how I started with the real estate. So I'm very passionate when it comes to children, because I'm using real estate to fund my kids' education, and it's already looking good. Okay, and I want to share all of that. And then if my children get scholarship, the goal is that we're giving those property to them when they're getting married, or they are, and you can use the same things. I'm going to be sharing, there's not going to be gatekeeping. I'm going to just share the exact plan that worked for me, share it with you. And that's why I cannot tell you, no, any income will do it. No, I would say 6 figures. It's okay if you have not been there, but what is your pathway? And we're going to be talking about the pathways that you would use in getting to that 6-figure salary, right? It's called $1 Million League, and that's where you see MDL. You probably would have been seeing it before. It was MTDL, which is Money Talk with Dr. Lina. But no, this community is about every other person that is here, that has many people that can help. Okay, think about it. Even if it's just 10 people that can get to $1 million status, that is 10 million people that have been able to help. Even if it's 100 people, and it's not just going to be 10, because the children, and you're going to start teaching your children the same thing. Like literally just open a Rottweiler for my son, right? Put him on what's it called? What's the other thing? Hey, Mix Fossy, how are you? Put him on what's it called? Authorized user of credit card to start building credit. So by the time he turns 18, guess what? Who is going to be the landlord for his schoolmates in college? And then I'm already telling him, put money in Rotary. If you are, whatever work that you take internship classes, put money right there. That's Rotary. If you start putting $100, you put $100 from age 20 to age 65. The child is is a millionaire. So those are things. Okay, yes, you are much older, right? You are much older, you are in your 50s or you are in your 40s, you did not start early, your parents did not do it for you, but you will do it for your children coming behind you, and you will also do it for yourself. And that's how generational wealth is created. So this is not a community of get rich quick scheme. This is a community of wealth that is lasting for you and for generations to come. So we're talking about, and here is not just about, money. No. Money is good. Money and the BS, right? But whenever I talk about wealth is four things. It talks about money, which is what we just talked about today. It talks about your health, wealth, eating right, exercising. Because when you make this money and you are not okay, health is wealth. So that's part of wealth. A lot of people always forget about that. Then there's also the time wealth. Time, your ability to live life at your own time. Are you able to go on vacation, or you are just working? Yes, it's okay to work for that 10 years, but where is that money going into? Put it in asset, appreciating, cash flowing asset, not depreciating lifestyle liabilities, DLL. No, that's not it. And that's what is the biggest thing that is happening. Why our earners are not building wealth. So that is it. That's how you literally. So in that community, we're going to be reading books. So you're going to be putting your time towards the book. Then the other part of wealth. So I talked about the other one is the peace wealth, right? Having the peace, having trust, having insurance, your emergency fund, your retirement funds, not waiting for your children to be your retirement plan, or you waiting on Social Security that might not exist, at that time. So those are the things. Once you have every of this taken care of, right, you are going to be an holistic person. So we are building a community of an holistic individuals, right? Not the people are just waking up to work. All I do is work, no matter what. No, that's not what. We're here to make impact, fulfill purpose. Your money is going to, yes, they'll say the love of money or whatever is the root of evil, or money doesn't buy happiness. Thank you so much for all of the likes on tapping it. I'll really appreciate that. Money doesn't buy, but what does lack of money buy? Pain, ill health, poverty, crime. That's what it does. So a lot, those are the things. I mean, I'm done teaching right now. This is now motivation, because guess what? If your mind cannot perceive it, you cannot achieve it. If you feel that millionaires are from another planet, it's not possible. Trust me, you will not get to that millionaire status. It's not a curse, but it's a reality. But if you can achieve it, and you know that, okay, my children too can be a trust kid, and you stop beefing these trust kids. It's their own. Nobody said my own father should not leave millions for me. And by the way, just to let you know, if you go on Google right now on Google, or go on ChatGPT, what is the percentage of the multimillionaires and the billionaires that are trust kids? You probably see less than 10% or less than 5%. So it means that the people that are multimillionaires and billionaires and millionaires, they are the average common person, just the regular person like you and I, not from another planet. It's just less than 10% of them that they had generational wealth. That's what it means by trust kid. That's what they call them, like generational wealth. And even if you cannot live it, your children too can be trust kid, like a Rockefeller, like all those kind of family. 3 years, four generations, they are still building wealth, and that's what real estate can actually do. That's why you see that there's no multimillionaires or the billionaires that will not have a real estate investment. I can tell you, is either they have it as a building for their businesses, or they have it as, they just have it. They have private islands. It's not for just luxury or just sleeping there. No. They use it for, they use it to claim tax deduction, which, when you buy ETF or you buy stock, if you lose money, let's assume like the 100,000 I said I lost, the highest I can take, like I can claim as a loss in a year is 3,000. 3,000. and you can do it for, is it for 10 years or something? So it means that 30,000, but when it comes to real estate, it's unlimited. It's all, it's almost check all this thing with your tax consultant. I'm not a tax consultant, but that I know, because as a serial investor, like I said, I need to know all those things to be able to manage my portfolio. So really, it's enough of us always saying that, oh, you know what, is the salary, or you think, oh, it's my salary is low. Trust me, if you earn $300,000, and guess what, your expense is 300,000 or 290,000. If somebody earns 100,000 and he keeps 50,000, right, and put it towards investing, and is buying one property, all that you need to buy a property, a 200,000 property, I hope you know, it's $50,000. That's all that you need. And if you are buying home for the first time, FHA loan, that's 3.5%. What's 3.5% of a $200,000? Maybe 8,750. That's even 250,000. 8,750. If you put closing costs to it and all of that, let's say 12,000. That's $1,000 every single month for a whole year. If you start today, like from this March, by February next year, if you're a first-time homeowner, you can buy $250,000 home. That's what it means. And guess what? $1,000. How much is that? $27 or something in a day. $27. Some of us spend that. That's what we use in buying our coffee and our lunch every single day. And you'd say that I don't have money to invest. I really don't have anything to invest. It's because of my paycheck. It's not because of your paycheck. It's because of your lack of discipline or lack of delayed gratification. There's always money. You just need to repurpose. And nobody is this is not about pointing fingers or anything. That's because guess what? We were taught how to earn that 300,000 in school. That's all that you were taught. To become a doctor, become a lawyer, to become an IT expert or a nurse or whatever. But you were not taught to move from that level to become an owner. Two different things. Salary, you are an earner. No matter how much, earn 1 million, you are an earner. And ownership comes when you start having assets, in businesses, in real estate, in whatever. Something that is making money for you in your sleep. You are there, just like your CEO right now or your owner of your company is not there. But guess what? We are all working like clockwork, 9 to 5. You have done, this is 2 o'clock Central Time, 2:02 Central Time. If you started from 8 o'clock, 8 to 10, 4, that's 6 hours of your life for how much? For $1. You've traded your time for, that's fine. I do not have a problem with that. And by the way, this thing that I just said, that's what it's gotten almost 1.3 million view. Is that what's it called? This is Samsung. This is the Samsung one. Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, but it's also my wedding. It's just I keep it simple that way, because the other one I don't want to get lost. The main one. Awesome, but this checks my health and all of that, my sleep and all of that. But it's part of the health things that you should have. If you don't have that, get the watch. If you don't manage your habits, all of that. Anyway, that's digressing. My video on Instagram right now going almost 1.3 million, right? Views in 5 or 6 days right now. That's the same thing. I just had the currency. I said this is 10 hours of somebody's life. It's really seriously. By the time we start looking at that, you will understand that money, when you get, it's not about that dollars, right? But it's what you do with that dollars that what matters. If you take 300,000 and you just use it to fund lifestyle, liabilities, you buy, that's it. It's gone to a waste. It's called liability. But if you use it towards assets, you have that 300,000, you put half of it, 150,000, you put it towards what? You put it towards an asset. Hey, Mr. Accountant, welcome. Matthias the accountant, welcome here. If you put it towards, what's it called? You put it to buy a property. Guess what? You get cash flow every single month. And that's how you can just think about it. You have 5 properties, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. That's 10,000. That is your 6-figure salary right there. 120,000 after tax, 100,000. Yes. That's your six-figure salary. So you can decide to say, I'm walking away from this 9 to 5 if I want. I'm just working because I want to work, not because I am having, because I want to pay bills. Yes, I'm having panic attack. Yes, this thing is frustrating me, but I have to go because I gotta pay bills. It cuts short your life. It cuts short your health. But you can do it for a certain number of years, for a certain number of period. Then you know that you can now say that, okay, you know what? I know what I'm sacrificing for, right? I want to put this on the charger and we'll be wrapping up. Let me know if you guys have any question. We'll be wrapping up because yeah, I'll be wrapping up now. Any question? Any question at all? But that's just the way it's built. So the main problem that most I earn is that as is the lifestyle, and they build wealth the wrong way. They build the wealth the wrong way. They are not following the right order. That's part of the reason. Okay, not following the right order, not investing the right way, not paying off the debt. They just when is the training coming? I'm going to be sending it. Oh, I'll be doing a video. That's why I said you need to follow across board so you don't miss it. I was just telling to because there's one person in this community that is about to buy a property. So she wanted me to talk to the wholesaler. So I'm also trying to get the wholesaler to see if they can come to that training. So you understand, it won't just be just me that is just talking. So you understand, the kind of deals, and if you want to also have those deals, that you'll be able to get it in that training. So it should be, I wanted it to be in March before, but then I have this video that's over 1 million views. And because of that, I have so many other people trooping in as part of the community. So once I put it out, so I can have as many impact. Like I said, I'm just doing the training one time. Either do the training one time and never do it again, or do the training and start charging for it, because some people would value what you pay for. Because I paid when I did, but I'm doing the training. So I hope I was, so understand that, you can just simply start putting money aside right now for your down payments. That's the number one thing. You need 3.5%. You need 20%. If it's your first time home, 3.5%. If there's an investment property, 20% is what you need. Okay. If you don't have that, there are strategies around it, but I'll always say use your income first, right? Because it's going to help you. We're going to be talking about different strategies, right? Like the birth strategy, house hacking, all of those kind of things. That's what we're going to, we're talking about the mistake that I made, right? I've had 3 evictions, right? Just because I was showing empathy. So just keep business as business. If something doesn't look right, just stay away. Look onto the next tenant. All of those things to avoid. How you making sure that you are making sure that it's the business that is interfacing with the tenant. It's not you. Never say those are strategies that I use that helps me. So it's a business that's interfacing with you, not an individual. Okay, people value it more when it's a business rather than an individual. Individual, they will throw BS at you. You will clean the toilet for them, and then they will still not say thank you. But if you handle it as a business, so those are strategies, right? That we will be talking about. Yeah. So really, that's it. Most importantly, is just let us just ensure that we are putting our money in the right places, following the steps. So if you haven't followed my channel, Money Talk with Dr. Lina, and if you haven't followed here, not sure, consider doing that. It just because you're not going to be seeing a lot of videos and it's going to help you. The P5 user, Sunny, Messi, Lazy Mom is slim. I like that. Tropical Queen, I know that name. Edward Mara, Mayalistic. Yeah. I hope I was able to add value today. I hope I was able to add value. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing that on my YouTube community as well. Consider doing that. And look forward to the training. 2 things that you should be looking forward to It's the training and the community that is going to be coming up. I just want to make sure that I said it right. Like I said, I'm a doctor, so there has to be some level of structure and standard, and and because I also want to make sure that we are doing it the right way, such that everybody is able to benefit accordingly. That's the goal, right? Whatever we with what doing at all is actually what doing well. Okay. So I hope I was able to help one or two people. Put in the comment, let me know. Let me know that Coach Miguel, welcome, welcome. We're wrapping up. We are talking about why our earners broke. Talked about the wealth order. We talked about assets and salary, the differences, and of course, real estate, investing, and all of the financial system that comes with it. So we're going to be talking. Oh, great, great. Aisa said yes. Any other person? Any other person? Any other person? Just wanted to make sure. Thank you so much for tapping out the live. I know we're all locked in today. I guess I was also locked in because I would have been reminding each and every one of us to tap out the live. Yeah. Okay. So it's only Tayusa that I got value today. That makes me feel bad. That makes me feel bad. Could I have done better? What could I have done better? Because there's only one person that said I added value today. Or is there anything that you needed to learn that I did not talk about? Yeah. The P5, Mayalistic, Messi, Lazy Mom, Tropical Queen, Coach Miguel, Edward. Yes, yes. Yes, no. Or is there any question you guys have? We still have, I was, maybe keeping one or 2 minutes. Any other question? Any question? Anything? Any addition? And by the way, who is feeling this gas thing? Because, oh my goodness, I'm being, it's crazy. Like I'm going to be putting a video out soon. It's crazy. Like, oh, thank you, Mayalistic. It's super crazy just having to see that gas is like double. It's not even double anymore. It's more than double. It's more than double. And I hope that we know that this is going to, the ripple effect is coming. And who is getting salary increase? With everything going up, who is also getting salary increase? That, okay, maybe your employer has called you and say, you know what, the gas is going up. The gas is going up. But I think I should need to give you a pay raise. That's the more reason why you need to make sure that your money is working harder than you do. It's working for you because, of course, no employer is going to tell you that, okay, gas is now double the price and groceries are going to go, they're already increasing price. I'm going to give you some money. It doesn't work that way. They don't do that, right? Great, great, great. Awesome. I think we might let's just wrap it up here. If there are any questions, if there's no question, thank you all for hanging out with me today. And consider my YouTube channel, Money Talk with Dr. Lina. Let me show you, just so you can have an idea of what it looks like. The doctor is DR. And if you're wondering, I'm really a doctor. I'm a doctor of business and technology. I'm not a doctor of medicine. And it's not a nickname, because somebody asked me that question before. Dr. Lina, are you a doctor or are you PhD, or what was the question? The question was, are you a doctor? And I'm like, okay, but you just said I'm a doctor. So for those that are just joining, let me see. Okay, I need to. If you are just joining, that's my so you're just joining and you think that, okay, you missed, these are videos that can help you. So there's one I want to, so you can see the VOO. You can see the VOO right there. If you're trying to buy ETF, where you can buy it, how you can buy it, the video is there. I had that months ago. And then how you can buy your first real estate. So everything I talked about, Tayusa was asking about when is the training coming. I would advise everyone to start with this training right here. I'll say start with this. Let me see. How to own your how to own your first rental in 3 months. So in 90 days, step by step. So I have it right there for you. So start with that training. If that would really help. Okay. Even when we now do the live training, you have so much information about the 1% rule, things like ARV, the rental comes, the DOM, all of those terms and how to buy it and all of that. Then we can, by the time you are getting in the class, I tell you, you have more edge. You have a leverage over every other person because now you would already, you already know what and what. You have some more knowledge. And then as another thing, see, get a copy of this. This is just going to help you as well. It talks about asset and liability. There's a reason. It says celebrating 20 years as the #1 personal finance book of all time. Everybody knows Rich Dad Poor Dad. You should also get it for your teenagers, your younger ones, younger kids, and just start building wealth through that as well for them. So those are, yeah. So subscribe to the channel. It's Money Talk with Dr. Lina. The doctor there is DR, not the whole full doctor, and it's Lina, Lina, just the same name as here. Yeah, right there, just the same name, and you can subscribe to the channel Money Talk with Dr. Lina. Awesome. Great. Well, thank you all for hanging out with me today because I cannot be talking to myself, even though I have so much to share. So thank you so much. Tayuza, the P5, Mayalistic, Edward, Lazy Mom, Tropical Queen, Coach Miguel. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. And I'm here. I try to be here maybe 12 or 12:30 Central Time. Just so I can help as many people as possible. You can catch me here. So if you can, in case you can, just so, and at times I come at night at times. So go over here and turn on the notification bell so you know whenever I'm here. Where are you? I'm in Texas. In location, I'm in Texas in the United States. Yeah, awesome. But I might be in your city any soon because I love to travel. If there's anything, not right now, not with what is going on in the Middle East, but I love to travel. That's one of the things that you might not know about me. I've been to 22 countries, and my goal is to travel the world. So yeah, that's why I work hard. Oh, you're in Texas as well. That's great. That is amazing. So it's great if you want to do real estate. You are. I might be able to help because most of my wholesalers or my contacts or rehab and what's it called, contractors are here in Texas. It just Joe lost. Okay, that's great. That's amazing. Okay, so watch out for the community once it comes out, and watch out for the training. I'll put it out there, and you guys can all be a part of it. But it doesn't even matter either you're in Texas or not. My wholesalers, they just even confirmed that they're in Indianapolis. I'm checking with them what's the West State because it just makes it easy. It's easy. Thank you so much for the follow. It just makes it easy. If you are in if you're in Texas, but if you're not in Texas, they operate is a global, not global, the statewide, national world, the national company. So you can get pipelines of property. Jennifer was not here today because she wants to buy in Indianapolis, and they just confirmed they have. Oh, by the way, P5, you're in Indianapolis, right? So whenever you're ready, because I just checked with my wholesalers. They said they're in Indianapolis. So yes, they are in Indianapolis. So in case you are whenever you're ready, so they can because Stephanie was asking, she wanted to buy from Stephanie is also a part of this community, a frequent. She's just not here today, not sure why. She's in Minneapolis, and she's ready to start buying, but then she cannot find she can't find wholesalers, so she's thinking of Indianapolis. So I'm not sure how close that is. It Minneapolis? Is she in Minnesota or Minneapolis? I don't know. one of those places. So she wants to, she's thinking of buying from Indianapolis. So yeah, so they just confirmed. So I'm just waiting on the information on that. So let me know whenever you're ready as well, or we're going to talk it as part of the training because I'm trying to see if I can get them, one of their agents, to come talk to us during that training as well, from wholesaling perspective. Okay. All right. Okay. 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 Well, this is where we're going to end it today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And remember to follow Money Talk with Dr. Lina on Instagram and on YouTube as well. Yeah, just do that. And for my YouTube community, don't forget to thank you all for hanging out with me as well. Go on TikTok to follow as well, and on Instagram. Well, I love you guys so much. Ensure that your money is working harder than you do. Remember, asset pays the bills. Salary pays the bills. Asset is what gives you the freedom that you need to live your life. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Stay blessed. Bye. And my YouTube, thank you so much for staying with me. And I will see you soon, tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe. And okay, talk to you soon. Bye.